burn away the darkness.
وها هي الأرض قد خلصت لي وأصبحت ملكي بعد أن
لا رسول إلا مسيلمة. لا رسول إلا مسيلمة.
When I am gone, you will have never been. What will your world be?
اختر أي أرض تكن سيدها. أنا سيد الجبل.
They believe that when anybody tries to play God, it's never going to work out well. Not trying to be funny, but look at Jurassic Park. That's just an example. You want to try to play God and mess with Mother Nature, in the end, it's never going to work out well. So,
greetings to you. This subject I will devote part of it to describing Satan, the leader of mind control gangs in Iraq. This is Satan, who is an intelligence officer, or wear different masks, including that they are a civil society organization, an international organization, a mass organization, or a tribal organization, or in every region there must be an organization representing the region in which it is located, or an organization of parties, or an organization of young and old, etc. Of course, this demon is responsible for all the attacks that were against the international forces in different regions in Iraq. He owns this terrorist gang organization as well. He was the one who was spreading rumors and lies against these forces and inciting the people against them through the fifth column, and who was a security agent. How many days the former regime is also responsible for him, and this filthy homosexual was he uses public places and the internet as well as the press of mercenaries and others, and plays the game of profiting from the law against the important law. The only fear of this devil was from the international forces. Only as for the rest, they are nothing to him. They are being attacked with these important terrorism. After a very short period, this gang has completely controlled everything. Of course, the first thing was, for example, controlling all communications networks and making them change their currency from the dollar to that dinar, etc. from dirty acts by which they violated the law and made these networks, the internet and the media completely in their hands, etc. I do not want to talk about this, nor how they carried out brutal campaigns and bloody massacres against America's friends and European countries in Iraq, and how they made their members only be in positions of leadership only, especially the security services, etc. All of them I will not talk about, but I will complete the description of Satan only, who obtained what he wanted and took control of Iraq, which was taken from him for a very short period, which is the period of the presence of international forces only. They knew this, and they thought that there was a constitution in Iraq and a law. This is why they did not change their positions, for example, in speech or expression of opinion. This is why many losses occurred. I mean, Iraq has become something like someone who is chased by gangs and arrives at the police station and thinks that he is doing well, but if he remained a stalker, it was better for him, because the director of the police station is nothing but one of the elements of these gangs here. The same thing happened. I mean, people believe that these gangs got lost. Many are outside the law, but they did not know that the law also changed. For example, during the days of the previous regime, everyone who owned any goods from the United States of America and European countries was considered to be against the law in Iraq. Of course, when Iraq was liberated, this law changed, but it changed again to return with the same terror that he had. The important thing is that this devil has eliminated all those who are against him in Iraq, and everything is in his hands, so he will play whatever he wants, and with him the homosexual security agent. Of course, one of his sayings is that he is a symbol of Arabism in this. 222 at, a word that is not strange to the Iraqi people, because the previous regime considered itself a ruler over the Arabs as well. This behaves in the same way and is trying to make Arab countries turn into a position of hostility against the United States of America and the countries of Europe, and exploited the churches of the Bible in those countries as well, and also exploited homosexuals, etc. The intelligence of the hostile Arab countries to the countries of Europe also started distorting the Christian religion, adding paragraphs and saying that God told him this, of course. So this is a terrorist who found an unparalleled treasure, which is a claim that he was a prophet, and started sending his personnel to America and the countries of Europe, and started giving dirty directions like him. Also invented a dirty game, very much as the game of acting, which is something that makes him a leader, so that he sits in the leader's chair, and after this comes his gang members who make them each represent a side in order to prostrate to him. For example, The gang in Iraq also has a group of terror, and they also prostrate to him. Look at the farce. Is there anything like this? I am not joking, nor am I hiding my identity for me in Iraq, but my goal from this definition is not to protect myself, for example, but to protect every friend of mine in the first place, and this the definition is that I am just a very simple citizen in Iraq. I do not have any organization at all, nor am I a tribal leader, and I do not work in security, politics, or government, and I have no followers at all in Iraq, and I am not married to an Iraqi woman or homosexual, as I do not work in anything. 3. And I am a very poor person. After this I mean everyone who plays any game from Iraq and he is spying on me. I am not responsible for those who believe him. As for my relationship with this terrorist organization and this charlatan who made himself a prophet, I am their only enemies, and I am not a party to it, nor am I affiliated with them or I work for them. I also do not recognize them, nor all their laws. 2. I do not have a half or even a quarter in it. I do not have any position in Iraq with anything, nor do I represent adults or children in it, and I do not record any elements for them, and I do not choose them. Of course, I act while I am inside Iraq in light of this fact only and no other. I am not responsible for those who fall into the trap of lying and deceit and look at me or deal with me contrary to what I said now, and problems may occur to him. I mean, we all know that every job or position needs to change the person's behavior. I mean, I know that I and this gang are enemies, but what is the reason? Of course is not because I have theirs a position in it and there is a rival for me over it as they lie, or they took something from me that was in my hands. Of course not, but the reason is that they are against all friends of the United States of America and European countries, and I am a friend of these countries as well. They are the ones who hit the international forces in Iraq and hit France, Belgium, etc. I mean, after this, how will my relationship with them be? Is it love? Of course, no, but hostility that will not end here. I am in Iraq just a simple citizen only. Of course, the devil spy plays with me a dirty game in Iraq, and it is his game that he records every side that he reported about him and his gang and makes it as if it has become his cell, and then he makes one of his geniuses to represent it, meaning that he plays his game. He made himself a secretary to me and his duty to register cells and organizations and give them positions and laws, and he begins to lead them. Not at all. I am in Iraq. 4. Also, I do not have any friend from them, or I represent one of them, or there is someone from them who makes himself, who competes with them for a position among themselves. They are one family. Of course, I am not responsible for the leader of this gang who plays with me affixing a group that he leads and makes a claim that it is with me while they are working with laws from him and their record is in his hands. There is no authority over me over anything. There is something else. Of course, every person does not want to exploit his name. Anyone, for example, no one accepts that a director of a police station or a governor exploits his name in anything while he is hiding himself and driving everything. And I am in Iraq the same thing. I do not want to exploit my name with anything, especially by such a demon and his gang. I mean, for example, if the United States of America or European countries and their friends, this is possible because of my absolute trust in them and everything, provided that they are them and not an example that this devil played in Iraq in our country makes elements belonging to him, and he is the only one who leads them and makes them lie and say that they are acting. And it is very funny that whenever I report about them I find one of them will claim that he is carrying out orders against his brothers, and they are only one family. Very funny thing, I am not responsible for this animal he who makes himself carry out inside Iraq, because he is only one of the elements of this gang. I mean, if I told him about all the laws that work by which he will not do this, then how does he claim that he is implementing it as the tricks of the devil who makes the garden and then makes his brothers or his son a thief in Iraq, and with this ensures that the thief is not punished completely?